the recovery, it went well, and then I would say the defense, we set it a standard that's very high. Obviously, making a lot of red zone stops and making a lot of stops in the game and things like that. So, we set the standard very high. We always have a saying, we have big shoulders and things like that. So, I feel like anything less than that is not good enough.
John Sauber and then Mark Brennan.
Hey, Jaquan, what kind of leader is AK, and how have you noticed him sort of as a leader this season so far?
I would say he's the type that he likes to show, he'll rather show than, talk about it. He likes to show like what he does on the field and off the field and things like that, just his work ethic and his drive for the game and things like that. So
Mark Brennan, go ahead.
Hey, Jaquan, what can you tell me about the impact Coach Dex has had on your position? Because obviously you guys played very well. And what do you know about him as a player?
I would say the impact Coach Dex has is he has a lot of energy, especially, every time he comes in, he has a lot of energy that we all you know, work off of and things like that. And I would say what I know, about him is he was a great safety, especially in college and the NFL, but especially in college, he's also going to the College Hall of Fame. So any knowledge, he has or like anything he says, I always listen with ears and, especially because he's been in my position already before and, he made a lot of plays. So he has made a huge impact for us.
Travis Johnson and Justin Morgenstein.
Jaquan, to be able to move around the field and play all over the place like you do, I'd imagine you need obviously the physical tools and the football IQ. Can you kind of describe like what came first for you? I mean, did you develop physically, you feel like first, or did they kind of come along at the same time, the mental aspect of the game to be able to let you do what you do?
I would say maybe both, but probably the physical part first, and then the mental part maybe came in a little bit later. Just trying to figure out some things mentally, and basically just I feel like I always had the football IQ because I always knew the game of football, but I feel like some things just came in a little later. So
Justin Morgenstein and then Max Ralph.
Hey, Jaquan. How did Lackawanna, taking a look back, how did Lackawanna, kind of prepare you to play at Penn State? And, how far do you feel you've come personally since, having to fight to play at a Division I level?
I feel like Lackawanna prepared us just by film watching, especially Coach Reese, our defensive back coach back there. He taught me how to watch film and things like that, how to make plays on and I would say they also taught like toughness and just the game of football. Once you're a football player, you just be a football player. You just make plays. So, I would say they taught me um that and other things. And then I would say what was the second question? I'm sorry.
I was just saying, how do you feel, you've grown personally since having to fight for a spot at Division I level?
I would say I grown personally just mentally, just getting the mental aspect part of it down pat, just figuring out, the whole defense and things like that. So I would say that.
Max Ralph and then Frank Bodani.
Hey, Jaquan, thanks for your time. I'd actually like to piggyback off of the Lackawanna thing and take you back to a specific play if you remember it. Game against ASA, you tell your linebackers there's a pass coming across the middle, ends up getting picked off. You guys win. Do you remember that moment, and how did it compare to telling everybody you saw the interception coming against Wisconsin this Saturday?
Because ASA, they kept running the same plays, and they were like hurting us. So like once a team runs one play, they gonna keep running it. So I seen it. They kept getting like completions on that play. So I told, his name is Dylan Harris. I said, he's about to come across. I was like, just step to your left and let the quarterback like throw it, and then just walk right in front of it. So, once he did that, he picked it off, and then it, you know, the way I compared it to Saturday is like, I feel like Saturday, it's just like a video game. Like once you run the same play in Madden, you gonna keep running it. Like I play Madden, so like once I run the same plays, I'm gonna run that same play later in the game if it works. So they felt like it was working with number 84, especially when I was off on the side, paying attention, to what they were doing in the red zone at the time. So, you know, once they ran it in the beginning of the game, I figured, they were gonna run it again because like it's the first game, and also, once they like one thing, they gonna keep going to it. So it just happened just like that.
Frank Bodani, and then Audrey Snyder.
Hey, Jaquan, can you describe your relationship with Tig and how you guys have helped each other? And what does it mean having both of you back there at the same position now at Penn State? Describe how that's a benefit.
With Ted, that's my brother, especially we came from the same college. So it's just like the chemistry is just different back there. We're just always on the same page, and then we're like in practice, we're always trying to make each other better. We're not gonna be light on each other or anything like that. We're always gonna compete and try to bring out the best of both of us. So I feel like that's a huge advantage, especially, that was my guy when I was at Lackawanna College. And then for him to come here and us to be playing and starting on the same field, that's a huge advantage also, because we have great instincts, and we know how to play football. So I feel like it's great having him, looking over there to my side and seeing Jair Brown over there. So it's good.
Audrey Snyder, and then Tyler Donahue.
Hey, Jaquan, thanks for your time. I was talking to Coach Duda yesterday, and he told me that one of the examples that he still remembers about your leadership is how, you would call him after practices and say, hey, we weren't, intense enough today or whatever. Have you called Coach Pry at all? Like, have you done that here? I mean, because it was a pretty, I thought, interesting example.
Yes. During the summer and during the spring, I would say I contacted Coach Pry, a couple of times, just trying to figure out like what I could do better, or what he sees. And sometimes what he sees is very important, because like as a player, the coaches know a lot. So what the coaches sees, but the player has to like lead. The player has to lead. It's like coaches could always talk, but it's always better when it comes from a player. So like I like talking to Coach Pry and try to figure out like what we need to do better to become a better defense and things like that. So yes, that has happened. It happened here in the spring, and then I would say in the fall, like during camp, just trying to figure out, where the defense is at, and just trying to help us, and then try to translate what he has said to me to the players.
So Pry didn't send you the voicemail then?
No, he did.
Thanks.
Tyler Donahue, and then Andrew Destin.
Jaquan, we were told Jesse Lucetta was going to be a versatile piece for you guys, and we got a lot of that on Saturday. Him having to go to linebacker with Ellis Brooks being ejected. What kind of an important piece is Jesse, that he can play defensive end, that he can play linebacker, and what do you think about his debut at defensive end?
Jesse, he's very important. Very important part of the defense. And especially, he just showing his versatility. He's showing that he's a football player, that he could play anywhere on the field, and he's not selfish. Whether we go ask him to play DN, middle, safety, corner, he's not selfish. He's gonna do whatever it takes, to help the team. And I felt like his debut was amazing. I told him, I texted him, I'm like, man, you play a crazy game. Especially at the DN position, him just making quick moves and getting in the backfield, him just, jumping all over the field, showing his vertical and things like that, show him that he's going to be a force at the defensive end position. And then, him going from defensive end to Mike and still not losing a step, that just shows, just that he's just a football player, wherever he's at, wherever he's plays, he's going to make plays and be a football player.
Andrew Destin and then Mark Brennan.
Jaquan, you obviously transferred into the program. We've all talked about it here on this call, and AK is new to the program as well, coming here from Temple. What have you seen with his transition in the program? How has it been kind of similar or different from yours, and how he's kind of integrated himself with the defense?
I would say it would be, different from mine because he, like, when he came in, like, he already, like, played college football and, he already made those big time plays and things like that. And, when he came in, it was more of like him just trying to, just get the defense down. And then obviously, he already had the ability and he already had the speed and things like that. But it's just like, now you're here at Penn State, just be you. That's one thing, when he came in, like I told him, I said, just be you. You don't gotta be no one else. And ever since then, he's been AK, nobody else. And he showed us that on Saturday. He showed us that by his ability, to play the run and be very effective in pass rush too. So, I'll say he made, a crazy stride from the spring to the fall.
Mark Brennan and then Max Ralph.
Jaquan, I see that photo behind you. You guys haven't played in front of a packed house at Beaver Stadium for a long time. How anxious are you for that, or excited are you? And, what message do you have for some of the younger guys? Because even guys who showed up last year never played in that building full. Thanks.
Yeah, I would say I'm very excited, especially, it's the first time in a while we get to see our fans and play in front of our fans. And, it's just, every time you walk into Beaver Stadium, it's just a crazy feeling, a feeling you'll never forget. So I just can't wait. And then what I tell the young guys is, especially for the defenses, make sure the communication part is, very important. Make sure it's loud. Make sure the communication is well, and then just play football. At the end of the day, it's just football. It's just a crowd. Just focus on the plays. Don't focus on the crowd. Just focus on what the assignment is and what you have to do that play, and then just play. You don't be nervous or anything like that.
Last two questions. We'll go with Max Ralph and then Travis Johnson.
Yeah, Jaquan, obviously the defense stood pretty strong all Saturday against Wisconsin, but it did take a little while for the offense to get moving and open things up. How confident were you throughout the game from the defensive side of the ball that the offense was going to get it going, and how much did that motivate you to keep standing strong on the defensive side of the ball?
I was very confident. There wasn't really a series where I was like, the offense can't get it done. I was always confident because just the players we have over there and the offensive coordinator we brought in. So I was very confident, every trip. And then I would say that to get, I mean, what was your second question? I'm sorry.
Just how much did it motivate you from the defensive side of the ball to know that the offense was going to have your back eventually?
I would say what was motivating me was just like, them just making those plays and that I seen in practice, just seeing, Jaquan catching a pass and, seeing Noah Kane, be Noah Kane. It was very motivating, especially, knowing what Noah Kane came off of, like his injury and things like that, and seeing him keep going, it just made me keep going and especially the way, Sean Clifford, drove the offense and things like that. And I just seen that they wasn't gonna give up at all. And, as a defense, that builds your confidence, and it just keeps us going. So
Last question to Travis Johnson.
Two-parter. Jaquan, I think over the last 2 years, defensive backs and linebackers on this team have combined for 20 sacks. How demanding is it for you to play in a defense where, week to week roles can change based on what guys are being asked to do, because they can do so many things? And the second part is, how fun is that?
I would say, sack wise, that it's always good, especially when you're in the secondary, knowing that, all you gotta do is cover, and then those guys up front, or those front seven guys are gonna make the plays. Once you get the cover sack, or once you cover the man long enough, that those guys are gonna get back there. So I'll say it's fun, and it's actually good, because it's less stress. Somebody's gonna get back there. And then I would just say that it's very good in the secondary wise, as a defense. It's just a confidence booster for us. Defensive wise, we just feel like mainly aggressive. So
Thank you, Jaquan. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.